As we prepare our gardens for winter, we want to be sure that all of our tender bulbs have been dug and stored properly. We can carry a number of our tender perennials over from one season to the next through different methods of storage. Now, some of these can tolerate the most unlikely conditions, that is, a dry and dark corner of our cellar or our garage. These are among the easiest bulbs to store because they require very little attention during the winter months. Plants like gladiolas, freesia, becerra, and mirabilis fall into this category of requiring a dark, dry storage. And I've dug a few mirabilis, or 4 o'clocks, up out of the ground, and also some gladiola bulbs. Now we want to dig these at the end of the season after the first light frost, or if the foliage has died back. And then we want to trim the stems back a bit, trim any foliage off of your gladiolas that's still remaining, because we just want to store the storage organ for the winter months. Now sometimes we'll see as we dig our gladiolas a bunch of smaller bulbs. These are actually corms. Gladiola is a corm, and these are called cormals. They're just the smaller corms that have been formed off of the larger ones. And typically we want to store these smaller cormals because the larger bulb that's already flowered has used a lot of energy and left that bulb without much. It's going to be soft and squishy. It doesn't have much storage energy left for the winter. So we want the young, fresh ones to bring into the winter months. Before we store these, we need to cure them for about 2 to 3 weeks in a dry place, very well ventilated, at room temperature. And this will allow some of these surfaces to seal over. We'll get a little callus formation, and they'll dry up so that they're not going to be as exposed during the winter. We won't get rotting in those areas. Once they're cured, they're ready for storage. And remember, we're looking for a dry place, so we want our storage unit to be very well ventilated. We don't want to put them in a plastic bag because that'll allow moisture to build up inside that bag. Instead, we want a mesh bag. I bought this bag of onions because this is an ideal storage bag. It allows a lot of air to move through here. Or you can use a mesh laundry sack or other similar item. And we're simply going to put our corms and our bulbs inside the bag, and then we want to look for a dark, dry place, probably in the garage. If you have a basement, that would work as well. Somewhere that's between about 35 and 50 degrees throughout the winter. And that's it. We're going to just simply let them store over the winter months and wait until spring when we can plant them out in the garden again.